Okay, this one's from the Australian Open. There were a couple of matches on at the same time, Svitolina and Zhang, and there was an Osaka match on that was also keeping an eye on. Started off with this one. Svitolina started pretty low in the 120s. I expected Zhang to give her a decent match, so saw some value in there and laid Svitolina just before the match started. You can see there the lay went in at 124. I haven't edited, didn't do the live commentary at the time because it was obviously late. I didn't want to disturb my wife in the next room. So I haven't been through this since I recorded it. So bear with me. I'll try and remember what I did and why I did it. I'll start the video. Right, let's step through some of the early points. Svitolina started really strongly on serve. Don't think she lost a point in this first game. 40 love. Easy hold. Okay, 2 break points for Svitolina, so obviously not over impressed. I did intend, with what you have done there, laying if she got to break point. So another lay went in at 115. Okay, save one of them. So we've only got 63 liability. Nothing scary there. Okay, saves them both. Don't remember how long this particular game was, so I'm just going to step through. She's got the game point. Can't close it out. Back to deuce. Another game point. And does close it out. That was quite typical of the way the early games went. Svitolina was pretty strong on serve, what I remember, and Zhang was struggling, but didn't get broken. So I'll step through the next one. Svitolina at this point has won all her points on first serve. That was another one. 40-15. Reasonably comfortable hold again. With a change of ends, I'll step through a little bit. Okay, better game from Zhang. So I'm reasonably happy with the situation at this point. Obviously assuming she can close it out. I would obviously have preferred a hold to 15 there instead of going back to 30. Very long point. Very long point. Okay, she does get the hold without being taken to deuce again, but obviously more pressure on her serve compared to what Svitolina's facing. Let's step through the next one. A bit of pressure at 30-all. This was her best game. Hopeful that she was going to get the break point. Don't remember if she did or not. No. But at least some pressure, so just looking at the stats. Both of them hitting over 70% of the first serves. Svitolina slightly stronger on first serves 1 and identical on second, so it's a little bit closer than it had looked in the first couple of games. So it's 5 days since I traded this one. There we go, she gets the hold. Again, change of ends, so I'll step forward a little bit. Okay, early pressure from Svitolina. Now, as I say, I'm also at this point following the score in the Osaka match, concentrating more on this one. Osaka wasn't having an easy time of it at all. It was a very close first set. Okay, pressure again from Svitolina. She's had 2 break points already. She was having to work very hard for service holds, long points. No easy holds for her up to this point. More pressure. I was starting to think that it was just a matter of time before Svitolina got the break. What am I doing? I'm not sure if I laid again actually. That looks like a break point for Svitolina. I think I'm getting ready there to lay again if Svitolina gets the break. She's certainly been the stronger player up to this stage, and I'm sort of thinking if she does get the break, I'm going to lay again. I think I did. No, she saved that one. Okay, let's step forward a little bit. Game points. Back to deuce. Another break point. Back to deuce. She was having to work so hard on her own serve. Game point. Back to deuce. Another game point. Back to deuce. Just didn't feel like this was going to work out for me. And that looks like the break. It is Svitolina 4-2. The first set in the Osaka match was still very tight. Market was still favouring Osaka, but the value was switching to Su Wei Sei. You see there, the lay's gone in at 1.1. It's not going to grow a great deal lower. Liability is still only 73. I'm looking for some early pressure. I'm really itching to get over to the other match. This one really is tying up my my attention a little bit too much, and it really at this stage didn't look like Zhang was going to get anything from it. Certainly not from this first set. Okay, I decided at that point that I've had enough. It's not working out for me. Looks like I've got better chances in the other match. Don't really like trading two matches at once. I do it sometimes, but I'm going to switch over, as I think you will see in a moment, to the other match. What are you doing? Oh, that's right. I was cursing at that point because Bet365 had got the score wrong. So I did jump back in. That's been happening more and more recently. Years ago, they used to make loads of mistakes on the scores, and then they seemed to sort out whatever the issue was, but just in the last few weeks I've seen a lot more errors, and they're not errors where it's a challenge and it gets over, the original point gets overturned. I've forgotten this bit. So she wastes the 2 break points. And I get out again there. You see there, I'm switching over to the Osaka match. It's very tight there. Osaka was, I think, around about 140, 145 at this stage, which had to be value on Sue Say. So 149 by the time I got it open. I still saw that as value, so I jumped in. A little bit risky, but I would argue all day long that at that stage of the set, that was still some value. So he gets a set point. Meanwhile, in the other match, Zhang had broken back. Typical. She held and broke back and actually went on to take the set, which, I was potentially in a great position there, but didn't stick with it. It just didn't look likely at all. She was being outplayed. That wasn't an ideal. I would say it wasn't an ideal point to get into the match. Value-wise, it was. Price-wise, it was. The set had been really close. Osaka certainly hadn't been having everything her own way. Got another set point there. And I felt that the potential gain was bigger than the potential loss if Osaka got back to take it into a tiebreak. And I would still have been tempted to stay in for a few points of the tiebreak. She'd certainly not dominated that first set. Now she's got another set point. And does take it. Okay, I'm taking out the liability. Leave myself a free bet. Okay, so they're into a second set there. I'm just going to step forward into the next set. Just bringing the stats up. pause it there a second. Seven aces for Osaka. 5 double faults for Sei. First serve stronger for Sei. Both struggling a little bit on second serve. More break points on the Osaka serve. Okay, let's crack on with set 2. Just step through this. I do remember that she held serve here fairly easily. 40 love there. Almost blew it. Did she? Or did they get another price wrong? Another score wrong? Yeah, they did. So an easy hold. I thought, well, I might as well stay in there if she's... how many times did she get broken there? Is it my eyes? That's her 6 from 9 that she saved, Osaka. So she got broken 3 times in that set. Not looking at the way the set had gone, wasn't playing her best tennis. So there was a chance that she was going to struggle in this game. So I've got no risk, I may as well give it a chance to go a little bit lower. It was really getting to the sort of price where you'd be looking to lay and put some green on Osaka. But you're also thinking she shouldn't really be in this position. She was expected to win this reasonably comfortably. It wasn't a shock that it was competitive. Love 40, she's clearly not anywhere near best. While this is going on, I'm looking at the Svitolina match still and itching to get back over to that one. The second set was going pretty well. I can't remember exactly how the games went, but it was tight towards the end. Svitolina had had a medical timeout for a neck and shoulder injury, but she was still staying in there, and there was a bit of value on her just to nick it at the end. Okay, it was looking like Osaka had just woken up a little bit. I was hoping that she wasn't going to be able to dig herself out of this hole. And I could get out after she gets broken and switch back to the other match. Second serve. Obviously at this point I'm thinking I should have got out at love 40, but why would you? Oh, I missed something there. I did lay there. I did shift some of the green over at 147, completely missed that. And having done that, I seem to remember thinking, well, I might as well just hedge here and move on. But she got the break, from what I remember. I think. I think that's it. Is it? No, still pissing about. Game point this time. Let's step through a few points. Oops. Doesn't take the game point. Another break point. Still itching to get over to the Svitolina game. Don't know why I stayed in. What I was going to get for the extra actual break point was peanuts. And there you go, that's a break. Pretty pointless staying in for the extra money at the end is what I was thinking as I was hedging for 99 when I would only have got 105 had she won the match. I then left that one and went back to Svitolina, laid Zhang towards the end of set 2. Svitolina, despite being injured, did take it. Didn't record that one. Hope that's been useful. Keep an eye on what's happening on the other matches. Flash Scores is an excellent site for that. You can have all the live games up at the same time. And I will see you on the next video.